Plaintiff Kenneth Reed is a dance choreographer who owns his own dance company. Kenneth claims he hired the defendant to shoot a concept video for him, but the defendant failed to get the permits in a timely manner, and they were unable to do the shoot, so he's suing. Defendant Sierra Cortez says after she and Kenneth signed a contract, she sought out the necessary permits. However, Sierra claims because Kenneth wanted to shoot in the streets, she was required to hire additional security, which wasn't in Kenneth's budget.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, I've been dancing since I was 7 years old. I'm a dancing choreographer in Chicago by the name of Man Williams. And when I graduated high school in 2012, I started my own dance company to begin doing my dream, which was like dancing for artists, doing music videos, choreographing for drag queens, different things like that. In January of 2019, I made a status looking for a videographer. I wanted to do a concept video, pretty much just, the video was gonna be me dancing in the studio. Then from dancing in the studio, I'm gonna get a phone call to go to a party that night. So then the scenes are gonna go from me dancing in the streets to in the parking lot to then eventually dancing in the club.
What was the shoot date?
May 18th.
Okay.
From dancing in the streets, then to the parking lot, then eventually dancing in the club. Ms. Cortez contacted me in January 2019 when I made that post. We met in March of 2019. We discussed the contract, I gave her a deposit, and we went over the details for the video. It wasn't until May 1st that she mentioned to me that permits would be needed for 2 of the locations.
Do you have the contract? Did you all sign one? I heard you say you discussed.
Yes, I have an unsigned copy of the contract.
Let me have that, please.
I have a signed copy if you want to.
You have a signed one? Yes. Let me have the signed copy, please.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So she didn't mention until May 1st that permits were needed for 2 of the locations. She also mentioned that when she does projects like this, that she's the one who handles the consulting for the permits, and she also pays for it. I mean, when I heard that you need permits to film at locations and work, because like I said, I've done music videos and things like that before. They told me, like, people have said that you would need to have a permit for more than 50 people. I'm just one person for 20 minutes of filming. So then we fast forward to May 9th. She told me that she couldn't get the permits because we would need to hire 6 hours of police assistance. When I asked her why did she wait, a week before the shoot date, she pretty much then just backed out, pretty much because she couldn't get her things together on her end.
What did she say though?
She said that she didn't like the energy that I gave her in the messages, so that her contract states she can back out for whatever reason. So she backed out a week before my video shoot.
Let me hear from you, ma'am.
So I'm currently a film student at Flashpoint Chicago with emphasis in producing and directing. So I have a lot of experience in cinematography as well as like producing and bringing together a project. Shot, a couple of my own short films as well as been on projects for other people. And I met Kenneth, like he said, like in January. We signed a contract in March. And we talked about the different locations, and he let me know that it would be the 2 outside as well as like the 2 that he booked, the studio and the club scene. When it started to get closer to the date, I let him know, give me the exact address to the permits.
When did you ask for the exact?
In May.
Why wouldn't you ask for it in March?
Well, I told him, like, when I do permits, it only takes 3 days. As a student, I get them for $25. Like, it doesn't take a long process. Okay, but you see what happened? Yeah.
Tell me what happened then.
Well, I just let them know, like, it's a quick process, and given the possibility of things changing, as well as days getting moved around, I don't want to lose my money on a permit that, I signed for and applied for, because it's a whole process and money is involved in it.
She never said any of that to me, Your Honor.
I have messages where
Go
I
ahead.
did.
You finish telling me.
But yeah, like it was just initially like when I met Kenneth, like he
got
was
all
cool.
that. You were telling me what happened with the permits that you decided to file for in May.
When it started to get closer to the date, I let him know, give me the exact address to the permits.
When did you ask for the exact?
In May.
Why wouldn't you ask for it in March?
Well, I told him, like, when I do permits, it only takes 3 days. As a student, I get them for $25. Like, it doesn't take a long process. Okay,
but you see what happened.
Plaintiff Kenneth Reed hired the defendant to shoot a video for him. But the defendant claims after their arrangement fell through, Kenneth started defaming her online.
Let me tell you why you're here. He said you did not get the permits in a timely manner. When did you apply for the permits?
Yeah, I didn't apply. I reached out to the film office to see what I would
Why
need
didn't
for
you
each.
apply?
Because certain places aren't owned by the city of Chicago. So like, for example, the lot wasn't owned by the city of Chicago, so we didn't need a permit.
You probably would have known that if you began in March.
No, I have experience getting permits. I've gotten permits for a crew of like 5 to 6 people just because it's required if you're outside with a tripod.
So what do you
camera.
think happened this time? If you are experienced at this.
I gave them the exact locations, the exact addresses. I told them the different, the amount of crew members we would have. I have these emails.
Who was this?
It was a representative from the Chicago Film Office,
Let me
like
see
back and forth. I gave them the addresses, and I let them know how many crew members were going to be a part, as well as how long we will be in each location. And that's when she gave me the information that, you know, you're going to need more than a permit for the second location in the street, just because, you know, it's a safety concern that you're shooting in the middle of the street. And I actually have, you know, I've reached out to them before and done like different shoots outside without permits, just because it's a simple fact, like if you're not bringing a lot of attention to yourself, CPD isn't gonna give you problems. But, you know, not even to bring up certain neighborhoods, but he wanted to shoot in Inglewood. You can't be on a corner in Inglewood for more than 5 minutes without seeing Chicago Police Department. So for that simple fact, I just wanted to make sure I was covered. When it came to the point of me telling Kenneth about this conversation, he instantly got rude. The first thing he said was, "So now what, cancel? Because that's what I'm ready to do." I was like, "I don't want to cancel. I'm saying like we could still shoot what we have, what we can. We could shoot the 2 inside locations and the lot locations since we don't need a permit. Like it's in the contract that you have an additional day with me. There's still like the 3 locations that we have."
So you provided alternative dates that would have met his timeline, his deadline?
Yes.
No, she did not.
Any communications about this?
Yes.
Because I'm sure if you did that, why wouldn't he take it?
Thank you.
Why wouldn't he accept something that met his deadline?
Thank you.
I also have text messages if you want.
I'm sure he wanted to get it done. Let me see what she has, Doyle, please. What is that you're handing me?
That's when I told him about the locations, as well as like we can still shoot. I'm still open to being, you know, part of this.
If I ever do a project that I pay for it with the balance, I know you may be frustrated as I am, but they are asking for too much. That's why you didn't do it. You didn't apply. You said because they are asking for too much.
His budget for the video was $400, and it's a minimum $240 to rent them.
Now, I spoke with the permit officers, and they said we can't film in the street without hiring police officers. Why was permits just now mentioned the last minute, he asked. If I ever do a project, I'll wait till the last minute. This is just a matter of me never shooting in the middle of a street and knowing police or police blocks are needed.
But you're experienced.
In my experience, when you need a police escort or a side roadblock.
How did you encounter fees, sir?
Well, the breach of contract, she didn't mention till the last minute that permits were needed, which was a week before the event. By then, like I said, a part of the video was filmed in the club. So I had to pay to rent out the club, and I had to pay for a DJ. By May 9th, before that was even mentioned and she flaked out, I already paid in full for the venue and the DJ. So that's breach of contract. I feel like she has to pay me back for that.
Did you make the video?
No, I didn't. But I still paid in full for the video.
I know. That's the question. You didn't make the video?
No.
He did make
because,
the video.
all right, you say he did?
Yeah, I have proof that he posted multiple times.
Let's see what you have.
Yep, he posted on Facebook.
Your Honor,
just
there's
left
no
the
video currently made
and
that was filmed that day.
How does he owe you for defamation, ma'am?
Here's some posts that he made about me.
Tell me what they are.
He basically said I run off with deposits. I'm unprofessional. I don't know what I'm doing. I waste people's time.
Did you receive a deposit?
I'm sorry?
Did you receive a deposit?
Yes.
How much?
$75.
And you didn't give it back?
No, I didn't.
Did you run or walk? You might have committed defamation there.
You
said she ran, or did you say, what did he say? You ran?
Your Honor,
if she walked, you're liable.
I don't know what she did, but I know if the truth defames your character, you shouldn't be in business.
I walked away from this because, like I said, if in my contract there's a line,
that's the only thing he defamed you. He said you ran, and you say you walked, and you say you walked.
Yeah, I mean,
all right. You didn't shoot anything in the street. Do you have any evidence that he shot something in the street?
That was a picture from his shoot.
That was a picture from the party that I was forced to have because I already paid in full for it, Your Honor.
There's a May 18th timestamp on the video of that, or that selfie of him.
The venue was booked
What's that?
for May 18th.
The selfie of him, it says on my way to the video shoot in progress, unless he's lying to his fan base, but all of those things basically.
You know all y'all lie on these things. You say you're doing something, you sound crazy. You know that.
You gotta say what you gotta say to get the people to come out. I had to make my money back some kind of way.
Y'all do that.
Plaintiff Kenneth Reed hired the defendant to shoot a video for him. But the defendant claims after their arrangement fell through, Kenneth started defaming her online.
You have some evidence that he was shooting, that he did what you could not do. That's what I need. Because otherwise, you're liable for what you could not do.
I don't feel like I owe him because there was never an agreement that.
Never an agreement now.
No, never. I don't feel like I owe him. Like,
I know
there's
you
no
don't, but you do. $1,500
$1,500
is your judgment. She breached her contract by not filing for the permits on time. In fact, she admits today never having filed it. She just reached out. And when she reached out, they told her she would need police. And then she said, I can't afford the police. And so that's why she didn't shoot your video. The counterclaim, ma'am, everything was true. I'm sorry, it's not true, but it's not defamation for you to say walk and him say run. Your claim is dismissed, yours is granted. Have a good day.
What you talking about? What is you talking about? Come on now, the truth. What you talking about? She messaged me and said she didn't have anything to say to me, so I called Judge Mathis.
Yeah. I mean, low budget projects bring low budget clients and attitudes.
Low budget, but you couldn't do the job, baby.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. You couldn't do the job.
How long was it before you paid
You
your
couldn't do
deposit
the
after
job.
you signed the
You
contract?
couldn't do the job.